It's Kyle coming to you from my basement. Yeah, I mean, here's where I am. So let's see what's going on that's good in my life. Quite a bit. Things seem to be going really well. Business has started picking back up, which is great for the store. Had some pretty good sized sales over the last couple of days. It was really dead there for January, but the very beginning of January we did really good, and then it was dead the rest of the month. So here we are in February. It's been pretty good for a couple of days. Hopefully that doesn't just die off like it did in January, but we'll see. I'm not going to just talk about the business here. Yeah, I mean, life, that's what's going on. I've just been running around busy. All kinds of stuff going on. Last weekend was kind of a different weekend. My wife was gone for the weekend with the granddaughters, and they went down to visit my wife's dad, my father-in-law, and had a nice visit there. And yeah, I was kind of here by myself. I mean, my daughter was here, my son was here, but they don't want anything to do with me. They're teenagers, man. So they were off doing stuff. And yeah, here I was. So yeah, just kind of hung out. I did finally watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 on 4K Blu-ray. I hadn't seen that yet. I'll talk about that. I hadn't seen that since I was young. I'll talk about that when I get into movies here, or what I'm watching. And just kind of took it easy, man. I did do a lot of stuff for the business because I was able to get some photographs taken and get some things listed. And that was really cool. I think it kind of got me moving forward again on the business because I was kind of in a lull there. So that was kind of a great thing, I would say. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. Other than that, basically, some big things going on that maybe aren't so positive. Just what's going on in our country, man. This mayhem, this ridiculous, absurd activity that seems to be happening, and we hear something new and shittier every single day. And, that I'm not so crazy about. And it has been bothering me a lot, but really all I can do is not really accept it so much as understand that it's out of my control, really, until I go vote like we all need to. No matter what your beliefs are, if you are all gung-ho on this crazy-ass shit and you like living like this, go vote for it some more. If you don't, go vote for the other people so that we can get out from under this stuff. It's up to you. I'm not going to get into telling people who to vote for, but I would try and vote for people that are doing things that go along with your general ideas and philosophy of life. If you're voting otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what I'm into right now. Move here. What have I been listening to? Well, lots of Danzig, some Suicidal Tendencies for sure as well. Yeah. I did pick up a couple records, and they're pretty great. One of them is an album by the former lead singer of Soul Coughing, Mike Doughty. Not sure if you're familiar with him. I like him quite a bit, and I've been listening to him for a while. I've got a few records of his out there, and definitely enjoy his voice. I think is probably more than anything. I mean, I enjoy the wit of him and all that because that's a huge factor when it comes to him. But man, I mean, I dig his voice. His voice just has a really great sound. For as long as I can remember, I've enjoyed listening to him, And whether it's Soul Coughing, which I love that stuff the most, but I do love his solo stuff as well. And I know a good friend of mine that I went to high school with, Travis, had talked to me a little bit about how Mike Doty actually played at his pizzeria, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. But anyway, this album, it is called The Heart Watches While the Brain Burns. And I got it at a reduced price. I came across it at one of those big box stores that sells a bunch of reduced stuff. It's called Cargo Largo around here. Picked it up there, and it's great. I really dig it a lot. And then another one that I listened to this last weekend that I like a lot is basically a compilation of reggae. It's called The Best of the Vintage, The Original Singers. It's kind of a weird album cover, to be honest with you, but it's got a lot of different reggae singers on there. And I will put the little "What Am I Spinning" videos up in the pictures for you guys to go take a look at, and you can kind of see what it is I'm talking about. But yeah, man, listen to those a little bit. I did been listening to some Black Flag. I never listened to them much. I got into Rollins Band when he kind of started doing his own thing. And I saw him actually live. I went to the first Lollapalooza when that happened. And so I went that first year, and so he was there. I think Nine Inch Nails was there. I know Ice-T and Body Count were there. So Ice-T and then his band. And then it was Jane's Addiction and Susie and the Banshees. Pretty great group there. I mean, there was a lot of bands besides that I'm missing as well. The highlight of the day definitely was when I had the opportunity to meet and get to talk to Ice-T. The girl that I was dating at the time, I listened to the album OG all the time. She loved it as well. So she saw him walking around and just immediately got up, because we had a big blanket out. It was one of those outdoor venues where, you just up in the grass, you put a blanket down and just sit and hang out there all day and watch a concert. And she just hopped up immediately and ran over to him and gave him this big hug. And it was pretty cool. He was nice. I just, expressed to him that I thought he did a really good job acting in the film, the first film that he was in, which was New Jack City at the time. He said, yeah, he wanted to play a bad guy, though. But I said, yeah, you can play either. And it's kind of funny, the little conversation we have when I think about it now, because the dude has been playing a cop like forever on TV. So Law and Order, I believe. But yeah, kind of funny. But anyway, it was a great concert, great show. And I did get to see Henry Rollins Band there too. So kind of sweet. Other than that, I mean, I haven't really been listening to a whole lot. There is a new Thundercat album coming. I'm kind of excited about that. I'll have to see what it's going to look like to try and get a copy of that when it comes out, because I definitely dig some Thundercat. No two ways about it. That's about it, guys. As far as music goes, that's really about all I can think of. Nothing else that's really sticking out to me. All right. What have I been watching? Well, we've continued to watch Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, which, I know there's a lot of people out there that are big Star Trek fans that absolutely hate this show. I'm not one of those people, but I'm also not a gigantic Star Trek fan. I love Star Trek, and there's certain aspects of it I've always enjoyed watching. I love Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which is the first film based on Star Trek. A lot of people don't like that one, but I do. Most people think Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, the next Star Trek movie, is the greatest Star Trek movie there's ever been. It's good. It wasn't my favorite, but I really liked Star Trek: The Motion Picture. And then I like a lot of the Next Generation stuff. And then I definitely watched Star Trek Enterprise. I really like that one a lot, that whole show. And then we watched Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We've enjoyed that a lot, my wife and I. And now we're really enjoying Starfleet Academy. And yeah, it's different. I kind of find it funny that there's a certain group of people out there that are calling it woke because it represents a lot of different things in the year 3300 something, by the way. So in the 34th century, people were complaining that there's too many women in power, I guess, is one thing I heard, because the main leader of the whole thing is a female. It's played by Holly Hunter. She's the chancellor of the academy. They're trying to get the academy going again, is what's going on in it. It's interesting. And then there's lots of different types of beings in it, you know, of all types and colors and sexualities or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me as long as the story's good. But I do find it very humorous that people here in the 21st century would say that it's woke when it's 13 centuries away from us. I mean, who the fuck knows what it's going to look like in the 34th century? And really, man, who cares? Aren't there bigger fish to fry? Seriously, come on. But yeah, been watching that. Watched Shrinking. Started watching Shrinking again. The third season of that. Really love that show. My wife and I both do. Absolutely adore that show. Really, my biggest complaint about it would be, damn it, every single time I watch it, I seem to get weepy-eyed. I mean, it's a very emotional show. In this third season, Michael J. Fox shows up as a character, recurring character. It has to do with Parkinson's, because one of the characters in the show has Parkinson's and is kind of going through doctor's visits and dealing with some of the side effects, the aspects of Parkinson's that aren't so pleasant. And he meets this other character in the doctor's office waiting room, and it's Michael J. Fox. So pretty cool. I like that. I thought it was really cool the way they threw that in there. And, you know, Michael J. Fox is great. Who doesn't love that guy? Seriously. But I've been watching that. I do have the Hillside Strangler series, which I believe is a docu-series, if I remember correctly. It is. About Kenneth Bianchi and that whole freaking mess. But I haven't even watched it yet. Haven't even started watching that one. I do want to, though. For sure. I did watch a documentary that's actually a DVD that I picked up, that's up for resale, by the way, on our store. But it just kind of intrigued me when I saw it. It's called The Secret of the Wild Child. And it's a documentary from a while ago, man. I want to say 1994, so 32 years ago, this documentary came out. But it's about a situation that happened in 1970. And it's just basically, long and the short, it says a documentary about Jeannie, who spent the first 13 of her years of her life imprisoned in her bedroom by her father, with her arms and her legs immobilized. There's a lot more to it than that. It's a Nova special, is what it is, from 1994. But the long and the short of it is this. Yes, she was imprisoned in her room by her father, and restricted as far as movement and stuff goes. But more so even than that, she was also restricted from any sort of language. She was never taught how to talk or taught any language. And this is in California where this happened. Her mother was blind, and pretty much held at bay by the father as well. So, though from my understanding, the mother did know what was going on, but she just had no capability of doing anything about it, which is crazy for 13 years if you really think about it. But the child is seized by, the state, and they proceed to kind of test her and check on her to see what is going on with her. What is it like to have someone? So I don't know if you've ever heard the whole history of feral children, but I remember talking about this a long time ago with someone, and they kind of laughed about it because they're like feral children, but yeah, wild children. And in essence, that's what this Jeannie is. This girl named Jeannie in this. But there's a long history of it. And actually, I want to say the first time anything really was known about it that happened was Victor in France in 1800, I believe. So very early 19th century, late 18th century. But he was found out in the woods. He was 12 years old, never spoken any language. He'd been living with wolves and stuff, they claimed. But yeah, pretty crazy shit. And that was a long time ago. And then probably the most commonly one known now, besides Victor of Aveyron, I believe is what the place is called in France, is Oksana Malaya. Okay, and she was in the Ukraine in the 1990s. Now, she had lived with dogs from the age of 3. She barked. She walked on all fours. She later learned to speak, but she was definitely impaired. All 3 of these children remained impaired throughout their lives, from my understanding. I don't know if Oksana is still alive. I don't know if Jeannie is still alive either, but I know that that you hear in this documentary, which of course is 32 years old, is that she was living in an assisted living foster home environment. And so she was going into adulthood by that point in the story. But yeah, crazy documentary. I don't know why I'm interested in stuff like that, but it's interesting to me. I find it really odd. And so, yeah, when I found that movie and realized that it would sell, I also said, hey, I cleaned this movie up. It needed to be resurfaced. It was pretty scratched up. But once I got that done, I just ripped it, and put it on my server. That's what I've been doing with all my DVDs. So it's good. It's a good show. I definitely, it's not a very happy show. I don't know why I'm so interested in that sort of thing, but I am. So it doesn't really matter, right? I think I told you guys I watched Handling the Undead, finally, the film version of a book that I had read like a decade ago. Very interesting story. But yeah, I watched that. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. It's good stuff. Odd take on zombies. And essentially that's what they are. But yeah, if you get a chance to check it out, it's a really good film. I recommend it if that's your sort of thing. And then I want to watch a few other things. I do want to watch Shutter Island, which I've heard great things about. I have a very rare special edition of that available for sale also. It's still new in the wrapper, so I didn't do anything with it, but I do want to see the film regardless. I know a lot of people really like that film. It's Leonardo DiCaprio's in it. It's a Martin Scorsese film. There's a lot of actors in it, a lot of famous actors in it. But yeah, definitely want to watch that one soon. We did watch Anaconda, the new one from 2025 with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. Pretty damn funny. Definitely glad I waited for streaming or whatever to watch it, because I definitely probably wouldn't have been too thrilled if I paid to go see that in a theater. But it's still, even that being said, it's fun. It's a fun show, and I would recommend it if you want a couple good laughs. And then we've also been watching the series from 2019 called Swamp Thing. It's the latest version of Swamp Thing to come around after the movies in the 80s, and then there was a TV series, I believe, in the 90s. This is a more serious version of Swamp Thing, and pretty dark and grim. But yeah, my wife and I have been watching that, and she's getting into it. She's digging it. It's definitely pretty gory. I will let you know that up front for sure. But that's kind of what I've been watching. Let's see. Reading, nothing really. I mean, there's some comics. It's sad, dude. I haven't even finished those books that I got, those graphic novels that I got around Christmas time. Or I haven't even started one of them, but the other one I just haven't sat down and finished it. And I want to. I just need to make myself do it. So And then gaming, pretty much the same old there. Nothing too new in that respect. Did find all these old Switch games, which I'm excited about because I'm going to sell a lot of those. We don't really play the Switch much anymore, and definitely would like to, get rid of those games and make a little money off them since we've invested so much in the system to begin with. Now, on games, there is one game that I recently started playing, which is called Planet of Lana, Lana. And it's pretty interesting. It's a mobile game. And I think it's even like $9 or something, but I had a lot of credit through the Google Play Store, so is how I got it. But if you get a chance, you might want to check that one out. It's definitely a very interesting looking game. It's beautiful. Visually, it sounds great. Great soundtrack, great score. It's pretty awesome. I'm only at the beginnings of it, but I do enjoy playing it, so I'm going to continue on with that. I also did purchase a copy of Sonic Frontiers on my ROG Ally, and I've played a little bit of that. I want to play more of it. I will. I just got to make time to do it. And then that's really about it. Nothing else too new there. I haven't played much with the Game Station Go. I do have a controller coming, so I'm excited to hook it to the TV and play it more that way. I think I'll be more interested in playing it that way. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then podcasts, nothing new in podcast. Nothing new from what I've told you the last few times that that I've had one of these with you guys. Yeah. Got to kind of reach out there and see if there's some other new ones that I might be interested in listening to in the near future. But that is all I got, guys. Nothing really super exciting, and I'm sorry. But, life as usual here. Just carrying on and so forth. But I do appreciate you guys listening a whole bunch. It's funny, I keep getting these emails and these correspondence and stuff from different podcast agencies, that help promote your podcast, and it kind of cracks me up that I got another one today from a guy's like, "Hey, you're in the top 5 podcasts of reselling podcasts with Hawkpicks." Like, really? The top 5%? No, not top 5, the top 5% of all podcasts with Hawkpicks. I thought that was pretty funny because, come on, man. There's just no way. There's just no way. It's not that it's doing bad. It's doing great for what it is. And, I'd say the same on this podcast. For what it is, it's a fun time. I just get on here and talk about shit. Nothing really crazy. But come on, man. Top 5%. Get out of town. The latest episode, let's see how many listeners it's had. Yeah, not many. I can tell you this, it's not double digits, guys. The last 3 episodes aren't. It doesn't matter. That's not why I do these. But it's kind of funny that you can have that low a number of listeners, but you're in the top 5%. Pretty hilarious. The Dad Snark podcast here actually has more listeners. And, it's got plenty of double-digit listens. And that's cool. And I appreciate that. Pass it around. Keep on listening because I dig it. I know all time, there's 7,200 listens for the Dad Snark podcast, which is crazy. Crazy to think that. Now, granted, the Hawkpicks podcast is pretty new, but it has 156 listens. So I don't think it's in the top 5% of all podcasts. That cracks me up. Hey, I appreciate you guys listening. I'll be back with you guys here in a couple weeks with a new episode. There's a new episode of Hawkpicks. I'll put a link in the notes for you. Maybe we can get it up over the double digits, huh? What do you think? What do you say? Pass it around. But regardless, there'll be a new episode of that next week as well. And then I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. So thanks again for listening. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, if you're around in my neighborhood, Get off my lawn.